What's up guys, it's Karen, welcome back to my channel. So as you can probably tell by the title, today's video is going to be a week in my life, and I'm so excited to just take you along my week and show you what it's like as a final year medical student. I was thinking about it, and this is probably going to be the last week in my life that I film as a medical student before I qualify and become a doctor, which is just really crazy to think about and really exciting. So just for a bit of context, if you haven't seen my last few videos, I've just moved to West Wales for my final placement, which is in cardiology, so that's why this is my background. I am in the hospital accommodation, and yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I really like cardiology, and my first job as an F1 is in cardiology in a different hospital in West Wales, so I feel like by the end of this placement I'm going to be really well equipped to be starting as an F1 in cardiology, which is again really scary to think about, but I'm really excited because I think it's been a long time coming. 5 years of training. Before that, you're just studying really hard all the time to get the grades to actually get into medical school. So I feel like I have worked my butt off for this, and I'm finally at the point where it's paying off and I've kind of made it, and that is just insane to think about because time has gone so fast. But I don't want to let myself get too ahead of the game. I don't want to let myself panic too much, so I'm trying not to think about that and just taking it one step at a time and really just trying to enjoy this placement, to be honest, because it is my last one as a student where you go in and it's okay to make mistakes because you can just say you're a medical student, and the doctors understand that you might not know what's going on as much. And yeah, so I'm just kind of taking advantage of still being a student and learning as much as I possibly can. And I'm specifically shadowing one F1 that is on cardiology as well, so I'm pretty much just learning the ropes of how to be an F1. It's a lot less about like the science behind everything and a lot more about doing the jobs in terms of scribing during ward rounds and then chasing bloods in the afternoon, doing all these little jobs, and then on top of that practicing your skills like getting cannulas in, doing catheters, all of this kind of stuff. So it's very much less like me being quizzed and being shit scared on placement and more me actually being a junior doctor, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm really good at admin, which is great. I'm very organised, so I feel really good when I'm writing in the notes. I feel really competent in that situation, in that like part of the job, but I think the rest of it is a lot about confidence and about almost fake it till you make it kind of thing, like just sort of making it seem like you know what's going on, and then if you don't, asking for help. And that's the part that I'm not quite there on. I don't really have the confidence going into my job yet. I'm really excited. I don't know whether it's actually a lack of confidence or if it's just imposter syndrome saying that I'm not ready and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not going to be good enough. So it's a huge roller coaster of emotions at the moment, and I figured I may as well film it. I want to document as much as I can while I'm in medical school before I qualify so that I have these memories to look back on. But yeah, at the moment it's all very overwhelming and scary but exciting and all of this stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. It is now 8:48, so I need to head in. I tend to work from 9 till about 12. They let me go to lunch, and then after lunch we do all of the jobs and stuff. But my junior doctors on my ward are really nice. They're literally like, this is the last time you're going to be a student, so go home, enjoy the time that you have to actually chill because you're not going to get that time again. So they usually let me go home early in the afternoon, which is really nice. So I'm going to head off and see what the day brings us. Today is Monday, so it's going to be a way longer ward round than it usually is, and that is kind of stressful because I'm usually one of the ones taking notes, and yeah, it goes really fast. It's very fast paced, and sometimes it can be a lot of pressure to make sure that you're writing exactly what you need to write in the notes so that you're helpful for the next set of ward rounds, which will be the next day. But yeah, let's head off. So it's about 4 p.m. now. My F1 let me leave the ward at around 12:30 after we finished the ward round. It was literally such a long ward round, like I was expecting because it's a Monday, but it was really helpful. I scribed for a lot of the patients and listened to somebody who had an ejection systolic murmur, which was always useful to hear. And yeah, I learnt a lot actually, and then I headed straight to the SDL because I've realised that I really need to practice my cannulas. I'm going to be relied on a lot as a junior doctor to do cannulas and stuff, so I just want to brush up on my practical skills. So I spent about an hour-ish there, and then I came back, had lunch, and now I've just been editing for a couple of hours, kind of just in a bit of an editing slump, and I figured it would be the perfect time to go for my daily walk. So I'm holding myself accountable, I'm keeping that promise to myself, and I'm gonna head out even though it's a really gloomy rainy day. I'm just gonna listen to a little bit of Spotify and just probably go for like 20-30 minutes. It doesn't have to be long, but I'm keeping that promise to myself, and I'm gonna enjoy this walk and enjoy the fresh air because I think I need it. Okay, good afternoon. It's now Tuesday. I had such a good day yesterday and I felt like it put me in such a good mood that I went into today with such a good attitude. I was just really excited to do everything that I needed to do. So this morning was pretty much the same, just did a ward round and then had lunch, and then this afternoon I had simulation teaching, which is basically where they make up a scenario for you to play out on a mannequin, but it's like a very technologically advanced mannequin, so its eyes move, you can do the whole A to E approach on it, so you can listen to its breath sounds, take a pulse, read the blood pressure, all of that kind of stuff. And to be honest, sim can be quite hard. In the last couple of weeks we've done it, I've literally cried after each session because it's really thrown my confidence. Like, it'll be something really obvious that I got wrong and I'll just doubt everything. I feel like in a way my reaction to getting something wrong was very overly dramatic and unnecessary. I just put more pressure on myself than I needed to. But today I went into it with a really positive attitude. I was like, I'm going to get over this fear of getting things wrong in sim, because the whole point is you make mistakes and you learn from it, and it is only a mannequin. So nobody's dying from this. You are literally just learning so that you become a better doctor in the future. And today my scenario was this elderly lady came in with abdo pain, and we did the whole A to B approach. Started sepsis 6 because she had high temperatures, low BP and a high heart rate, so all signs of like hemodynamic shock. And then we ordered an abdominal CT. I came up with the differentials of like query appendicitis, query diverticulitis, and we went from there. And the whole point of this scenario was we didn't actually know the answer. We didn't know what was causing the abdo pain, but our job was to keep the patient safe and comfortable. And the main complaint was that she was in a lot of pain. So it was about knowing what painkillers to prescribe, especially since she had an allergy to morphine. So all in all, we kept the patient comfortable, gave her some pain relief, so she was feeling a lot better by the end of the scenario, and I felt really good after it. I came up with some differentials that were actually plausible, and we had the right management plan as to keep her safe and whatever. And the doctor who was leading the whole simulation said, like, gave us good feedback, and that was really reassuring to me because, like I said, I've just been really doubtful of myself with these simulation teachings, and so it was nice to finally feel like I was getting somewhere and I had learned something. And I stayed very calm in this situation. Last week we had one where the patient had an insanely high blood pressure, and usually, I think if you're a medical student you'll know this, but usually in sim they always give you a really low blood pressure and a really high heart rate, and you're like, okay, let's start some fluids, they need fluids. And this time it just like panicked me because I was like, oh my god, I've never had a sim where they've got a really high blood pressure. I have no idea what to do. And then after that happened and I thought about that, I just panicked. I had no idea what to do next, and the person I was doing this in with really carried the situation from there, because I was like, I don't know what to do, I don't know, like, let's just call for help, let's escalate this thing, because I was stuck. And so this time I really went into it thinking, okay, I'm not going to panic, there is no point panicking because all that's going to do is harm your patient. just go into it and take it one step at a time. They say they're in pain, let's give them some pain relief. Their blood pressure's low, let's give them some fluids. If they're hypothermic, let's warm them up. It can be very simple, and I think I was really overcomplicating everything in my head in the last couple of weeks, and I think now I'm just taking it a little bit slower and giving myself a little bit of grace, because I do know it. I know this shit. The information is in there. I just stress myself out and then my brain goes blank. So today was really good. I'm really proud of myself, and hopefully next week in sim it'll be the same. You never know. But now it is 3 p.m. and I'm gonna go for my daily walk. I think I might walk to the shops because I follow this person on Instagram who posts about all of these gluten-free foods, and it turns out M&S have just dropped like a whole new line of free from foods, and I'm very curious. I want to go see what food they've got on offer, but obviously M&S is so expensive, so I'm trying to like pre-warn myself that I cannot buy too much. But I think it's about a half an hour walk, so that means going there, coming back and walking around. I'll probably end up walking for like an hour and a half, which is a very decent walk since I haven't gone to the gym today, and I think that'll be nice. I'm pretty much just going to chill for the rest of the day. I've got a blood transfusion training this week on Thursday, and I have to do some e-learning for that because they won't let you do the training if you don't have the certificates from the pre-reading. So I think after I've come back from my walk, I'm going to do that and then make some dinner, and pretty much that'll be my day. Okay, so it is now Thursday. I didn't pick up the camera at all yesterday, but to be fair, nothing really happened, so I'm not too mad about it. But now it is 7:45 and I am all ready to go to this blood transfusion training that I've got. Hopefully it won't take too long. I think we're supposed to be back here by like 1:30, and then I'm probably going to go to the gym this afternoon and just do some health and fitness things to make myself feel good. Such a nice day today. So it's now Friday. As you saw, this morning was pretty much like every other morning this week. I headed over to the hospital for the ward round. Pretty much every day I go for the ward round in the morning, and then we have a lunch break, and then all of the junior doctors get their jobs done, whether that's chasing bloods, putting in requests for scans, putting cannulas in, that kind of stuff. So it's very much a routine every single day, and I feel like I'm really getting comfortable with that routine, and I kind of understand what I'm doing, and I feel fairly confident. My confidence definitely ebbs and flows. Some days I feel like I'm so incompetent and so not ready to be a doctor, and then other days I'm like, damn, I'm so good at this, I'm amazing at scribing notes and chasing bloods and stuff. So it definitely is a bit of a roller coaster of emotions at the moment, like I've already mentioned so many times, but I'm just being honest because that's exactly how I'm feeling at the moment. It's really difficult. I kind of feel like I'm in this in-between phase of medical student and doctor, because this is the last placement we have where we're supposed to really just shadow the F1s and get to know what we're supposed to be doing as F1s in a couple of months. And I feel like because now I have gotten to know what I'll be doing and I'm doing it for the most part, I kind of feel like I should already be doing it as my job. I feel very much in this like in-between state of uncertainty, and being in that situation almost makes space for insecurity and lacking in confidence and stuff. I don't really know if that makes sense, but it's definitely like a day-to-day process of reminding myself that I'm good enough to do it, I'm in the right place, I've worked hard to get this far, and I wouldn't have made it this far if I wasn't good enough to do it. And I keep trying to repeat that to myself, otherwise, to be honest, I've had a fair few panic attacks and I've cried quite a few times over whether I'll be good enough as a doctor. So that's just how honest I'm going to get, because I think a lot of people are probably feeling this as medical students, but you don't want to be vulnerable, you don't want to show that weakness. And for me, that's really sad, because I've been feeling this all on my own in this accommodation with not many friends around, and I feel like nobody wants to admit that they're feeling insecure, and so then you can't talk to anybody about it, you can't relate to anybody about it, and you just end up feeling even more lonely. So I'm putting it out there, it's perfectly normal to feel this way, and I'm okay with it, because for the most part, rationally, I know that I am going to be a great doctor and I'm ready and everything will be fine. And so many doctors tell me that you learn on the job, like you begin learning how to be a doctor on the first day of F1. The whole of medical school is just teaching you the foundations of science and stuff, but you become a doctor when you become a doctor, if that makes sense, and then you start learning all over again. And that's reassuring to me, because sometimes I do feel like I know absolutely nothing, and at least I know I'll learn on the job. So anyway, it's now like 2 p.m. I've finished for the day, but I'm waiting for the other 3 Cardiff Uni students to finish, because as you saw this morning, it is a lovely day today. So I think we're going to head to the beach, which will be so nice. That's what I love about this area of Wales, is we're so close to beaches and everything, and I just think it's a perfect way to spend a Friday afternoon. So we're going to do that, probably get some dinner. I'm really happy it's the weekend actually, because I've got loads of admin things to do tomorrow, like going through my emails. I've got lots of stuff that I need to sort out in terms of like pre-employment checks and things I need to submit to the health board that I'm working for next year, and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, before I get into all of those admin-y things tomorrow, I just want to enjoy my Friday evening, and I'll take you along with me.
Tell me I'm the only one.